Hello, everyone. So we are going to wait a few more minutes as people are joining. So thank you for coming and just hold on the line for a little bit. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, so music is over. I just removed the music. So thanks everybody for joining. This is the first of hopefully what is a series of AMA that we'll be able to do. It's very nice to talk to all of you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the questions. You probably were wondering what voice Jabulani had or Alfredo, and here we are. So coming here because we very much value the community, despite maybe not feeling that way in a few occasions, but we very much value the community. We very much value all your questions and inputs, and so given there were a lot of them on the table, we wanted to try to address them to the extent that we can. As a general way of working. I'm just gonna start with a few introductory points, and then we'll get into right into the questions. So in general, the way we act, let's say, is we really try to listen and work with your feedback. So even if sometimes you feel like your feedback is not being heard because you're not receiving an answer, that is not the case. We regularly read Discord, and when I say we, I mean myself, the Discord team, but also everybody else in the management and beyond management as well. Like Discord is very central actually to what we do, and it's really a privilege to be so close to you and so closely in contact with you. We Another point that I think it's important to mention is that we work in very close contact with FIFA. We're part of FIFA because we're FIFA Collect, so we have the name. We work in very close contact with ticketing on everything, and also with FIFA management on everything. So compared to what the previous team was doing, probably you've seen a significant change and shift that is very much connected to how deeply connected and how very much in sync we're trying to work with the FIFA team in Zurich. So we go there regularly. We have regular reviews, and a lot of the things that we've been able to offer on the platform has been the result of this way of working. We When we come back to you, and when you guys are asking questions, we try to give you the answer wherever it's possible. Sometimes you're really cornering us, let's say, with immediate answer to things that we may not have the right answer, and so sometimes it has happened, and we apologize that a team member may have not had the right answered on the spot because he was being really pressured to answer on a certain hot topic, and at 11 p.m. at night. And then maybe we went back to FIFA and we received a guidance that was different from the one that we've given. And sometimes we're just obliged to execute what we hear back from them. Then, very specifically on this one, and then we're gonna get started finally. We, started this on Friday. Today's Monday. We've been reading the questions that have been coming in. Some of them we have answers to. Some other them are not really on the RTB conversion topic. We'll try to cover them if we can. And some other of them, we just don't have the answer yet. So don't expect that we'll be able to answer everything, also because of the limited time that we have. But we're going to strive to do that, and we'll be providing you answer on different topics. We'll be doing follow-ups. So if there is things that we did not have the answer to or we were not able to cover, we'll make sure that we do it in a follow-up session. All right. So the way we're going to operate this so that everybody will be able to follow is that I'm going to go question by question. I'm generally going to try to follow the ones that get the most answers. While I do this, Alfredo is going to say replying to this within the AMA channel, questions channel, so RTB conversion AMA questions within that channel. Alfredo will be saying replying to this, so you're able to follow which question we're replying to. This is because some of them are extremely long, so I cannot read all of them because it would take longer to read them than actually to answer them. Okay. So we're going to look into doing half an hour, and then we'll try to have another 15 minutes of live questions. And yeah, looking forward to that. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a first question that was from Alex Fanu. That's related. So Alfredo, please, tag it so people can follow it. It's related to what categories are going to be available to redeem within FIFA World Cup 2026. Whether we're going to be able to redeem RTBs, when we're going to be able to do this, and how we're going to receive the tickets. Okay, so the straight answer to this is we're working with FIFA to give you definitive answers. Okay, we don't want to give you definitive answers right now because we have not been able to lock all these aspects with FIFA ticketing. We work very much with the ticketing team. Ticketing team needs to accommodate requests that are coming from a lot of different people. We're working with them, and this, so particularly in general, conversion of RTB for World Cup 2026, which we know very much is what everybody is very keen on hearing about, will be the topic of a follow-up session as soon as we're able to lock the answers with the ticketing team. We don't plan on doing that in a long time. So we hope to be able to get the answers in a couple of weeks. So that's what we're going to strive for, and organizing a new AMA session specifically on this in a couple of weeks. On the questions that you were answering, just a few, you were asking just a few more points. We believe the process will be very similar to the one of Club World Cup in terms of having an allocation that's given to us, and in terms of offering tickets at a flat price. And then once the payment has been done, then being able to submit the ticket and send them to you within the FIFA tournament app. Within the FIFA tournament app, which means that those tickets will not, in principle, be resellable on Ticketmaster, but will be transferable afterwards. And this is kind of answering also a question that is later on Club World Cup. What is important to take into account, because some of you have been making comparisons, the prices that we offer are all in. They include taxes and fees, which are zero. We don't take any fee. When you look at the Ticketmaster pricing, the number that you're going to see is not necessarily the number that you are going to end up paying. So if you go through the whole checkout process, you will see that there is fees and there is taxes or other things. So the price may be different from the one that you will see at first glance, whereas in our case, the price is actually the one at first glance. Then, following question. I'm going to go with a question from Buba that was asked on Friday. So Alfredo, please, I ask you to tag this question. We're going to try to address it. It's a pretty long one. So in general, I personally feel sorry as let's say head of the platform, of the fact that we've not always been able to provide very precise answers, and some of the answers that we've provided are not being exactly the ones that then turn out to be. I feel sorry because there was no bad intention in that. It was just a situation where, again, we may have been in a place where we had the best knowledge at the time, or we were asked to provide provide answers to things. We provided based on our best knowledge, and then it turned out that what we were asked to execute from FIFA ticketing was different from what we actually did. So in general, we always give the best answers based on knowledge that we have at that point in time. If sometimes the answers are vague, which is a complaint that I've read, I understand. It's not because we want to be vague. It's because we do not have a confirmation yet. And exactly why we want to avoid issues where then you say, hey, but you said something, but that's not the case. Well, that's precisely why sometimes we're trying to be vague. We trust us that we're working on bringing as much clarity as possible. I understand, the fact that I say trust us may not mean too much, because on some of the things we've not been able to deliver exactly on the timings and on different things that we said, but there is a very close relationship that we have with FIFA. We're working on developing an even closer relationship with the ticketing team, and that's really something that we're after. There was a point about contractual obligations as well. Well, Modex is the operator. The marketplace is owned by FIFA, and I think with this answers some of the points that were being raised. With respect to RTBs for Club World Cup, there was a point that was mentioning how RTBs for Club World Cup don't make too much sense. We don't disagree with you, actually. Uh, Club World Cup RTBs make sense in the moment that there is scarcity of tickets for those games where we have right to buys for. That will certainly be the case for most, if not all, the matches of World Cup. In the case of Club World Cup, we're not there yet. And so some of the RTBs do not seem to have value today. They may have value in a couple of weeks if the ticket sales go in a certain direction. There is a very strong Club World Cup marketing campaign that is happening as we speak and will be happening in the coming weeks. We expect that to give a boost to the sales of tickets, which in turn will give value to RTBs more than some of them have today. And also to tickets, to be fair, because once more, the pricing that we're offering is in a lot of cases significantly inferior to the one of Ticketmaster, particularly when dynamic pricing is kicking in. Sorry, I'm taking a sip of water. I'm losing my voice. Something important to take into account is also consumer patterns. So in the US, people don't buy tickets very much in advance for football. And that is something that, we're seeing also with the Club World Cup. Because of the way the market is, some of the ticket sales are not happening at the speed that, maybe FIFA was used to in Europe, or all of us were used to in other locations. And just a very small comment also on the fee point that I was mentioning before. As Modex, we decided not to take any fees because we thought it was correct, or it was in our interest to try to offer you the best possible price that we could offer. So we could have easily, argued that there were some fees that had been collected on our side for processing all this. We're doing it all internally, and we're funding this ourselves, not charging anything, because we want to offer to you the best possible prices. So apologies sometimes on the speed and of delivering the solution. We're literally just integrating this into what we're doing on a daily basis. So yeah, sometimes we're not being able to be so fast. I'm going to move into another question now. It's from Impact 93. So Alfredo, if you can tag that's a question from the 12th of April at 5:52. So that's CT hour. There was a point about the AMA being about moderating. So this AMA is not about moderating. As you're seeing, we're looking into giving answers. You have pretty much the whole management team here. So everybody's listening, and I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of different people. So you can be reassured that whatever you're hearing today represents in its entirety Modex. We're looking into getting FIFA ticketing more involved into doing these things. That is not the case today. That doesn't mean we haven't spoken to them. They're just not present right now. But that's something that we'll be working on for the future. In terms of the vision of the platform, I think that's a very long question for another AMA, where we're going to be talking more about the focus on collectibles, VIP cards, early access, and a lot of other things. I know a lot of you want answers on this. We have been working on it, and we'll keep working on it. It's not something so immediate, unfortunately, because we're still a lean and small team, so we're trying to do our best, and we're just not being able to accommodate every single point. And sometimes we do get a mandate from FIFA to execute things that disrupts a little bit what is our planning. So there is no bad intention in that. It's just the way of doing things, working with a big partner with a lot of power like FIFA. I'm going to move into the next question. That question is from John Mark 93, 11th of April, 11:36. So this one again is on RTBs for 2026. Whether they're going to be face value ticket. Well, that's what we'll be working for. That based on what we're doing for Club World Cup 2025, we believe that that will most likely be the case. So no dynamic pricing and no additional fees. We have requested to FIFA ticketing to have multiple categories, and that is one of the conversations we're having. So that's what we aim to give you a definitive answer on by the time that we talk next time. Next time we're able to organize an AMA and we get the answers from FIFA ticketing. I know you may be, a lot of you were probably hoping for a firm answer here, but we're trying to be as truthful as we can. That is what we're working against, but we want to come back as the moment that we have certainty, not just with what we imagine that it could be. Then there is another question that is coming from Lou 2323, 11th of April again at 12:21. So this is around the fact of buying RTBs for Club World Cup 2025, including the final. Here, the only thing that I can do honestly is apologize, because in December, when we provided information on ticketing, we did have the assumption that we would be able to offer multiple categories. Following that, we had an updated guidance from FIFA ticketing, where because of certain context reasons connected to Club World Cup, we had to proceed with a Cat 1 focus. That was not our request, but that was something that happened because of some higher level reasons. And, we do apologize, because the information that we provided back then was the one that we had. We are still working as we speak to try to offer multiple categories. We want to try to improve the offering that we have right now. But there is something that I'm able to offer right now that we've been able already to negotiate with FIFA ticketing. And that is a reduction, a further reduction, by the way, because, when you're doing net of fees and taxes, that is already a reduction. But there's going to be a further reduction of 15% on category 1 tickets. The tech team, this is like fresh off the press. So we just agreed this with FIFA ticketing. Our tech team is working on getting that sync up and running in the RTB conversion process. So by the end of this call, you will hopefully be seeing prices that are 15% lower versus the ones that you were seeing before. So when you start to factor things in, which is 15% discount, plus the fact that you don't have dynamic pricing, plus the fact that you don't have fees for Ticketmaster, in some cases you're getting to a 35% discount, or even more in other cases for dynamic pricing. So that's hopefully something you can be happy about, that we fought for. I know it's not the answer to everything, but hopefully you will see this as a first step in a good direction. So once more, this may not be visible as we speak. There will be a sync that will be run by the tech team after actually, it's being run as we speak. And so we'll be able to see category 1 pricing for tickets for Club World Cup RTB conversion with a 15% reduction. Moving on to another question from Godinez at 11th of April at 2:29. Sorry, a very important point that probably is concerning some of you. So the people that already converted the RTBs into Club World Cup tickets with the old pricing will be compensating those people. We'll be offering different formats. It can be through coupons, or we'll be looking into other type of compensations. But rest reassured that you're not going to stuck with paying more just because you did it early on. You're going to have a price that is consistent with the one we'll be offering to other people on the platform moving forward. So then moving to another question. That question is for Godinez, 11th of April. So seating. So how is seating going to work? Well, the way seating is going to work is that, so first of all, let me take a step back. How does allocation work? We, as FIFA Collect, we have allocation of a certain amount of tickets in certain parts of the stadium. So category 1 tends to be the lower bowl of the stadium, the one that is closer to the pitch and more central. And then category 2 tends to be the higher or the one which is more in the corner. When we request category 1 to FIFA, or when FIFA ticketing, let's say, pushes us to have category 1 for certain conversions, we go back to them, we tell them the actual numbers that we have for conversions, and then based on that, we get an allocation of X amount of tickets in a specific space and another X amount in another specific place. Imagine that, just for the sake of the exercise, imagine that we say that 100 people converted for Cat 1 for the opening match of Club World Cup Category 1. They will come back to us and they will say, okay, section, and I'm just naming the section randomly, okay? But section 15 gets 60 tickets and section 16 gets 40 tickets. These 40 tickets, they're probably all in blocks. So it may be, I don't know, maybe 3 full rows, or like half of the section with 6 half rows, things like this. So what will happen is that based on the input that are provided by you guys in the conversion process, so providing name and email, we will provide these inputs to FIFA, and we will provide FIFA ticketing, and we'll provide them in a specific order. By providing them in a specific order, people will be accommodated within the allocated slots according to the order. So it's like, some of you living in Europe, for example, when you're getting a randomly assigned seat on a plane, if you do for 4 tickets at the same time, those 4 seats tend to be one next to the other. So we'll strive on doing this for every single request that we have. In the case of Club World Cup, this is something that we're communicated, which is being done manually. So people, after converting the right to buy, need to send an email saying who are the other people that converted that they want to be sitting next to. But we will look into doing this in a more automated manner for when the World Cup 2026 comes, because we understand it's very important for all of you. We fully appreciate and respect that. So that's something that we're working on, and will be able to offer in a more structured way on the solution that we have on the website for conversion. I am moving on the next question, which is from Mondra, 11th of April at 16:39. So there is a disclaimer on Ticketmaster when you start any purchase process, and that is similar to what we have. We're not very much sure about the specific issue at stake that you are referring to. Please do reach out to customer service, and we will try to figure out, first of all, what you're referring to with respect to the disclaimer message and the deceptive advertising. And to the extent that we can, we'll try to accommodate your request. Not necessarily the one you've written, but to accommodate any disappointment if it's truthful and with real foundations. I hope you can see that we've always tried to do that, despite some negative sentiment sometimes. We've always tried to make it right, and hopefully the ones that are in the community since more than 6 months, they've been seeing this. Whenever we either made a mistake or we're not clear on something, we've always tried to make it right, and that's the way we try to work. Of course, compatible with the mandates that we get from FIFA ticketing. Going into another question from N. Sherman, 11th of April at 5:36. So this question is about pricing. And this community member was making an exercise saying, okay, I want to go with my family and I want to go to the semifinal and quarterfinals. If I look at the prices on Ticketmaster, that's how much they're going to cost. If I look at the prices on FIFA Collect, that's how much they're going to cost. FIFA Collect is more expensive than Ticketmaster. So the calculations that were done are not correct, because the numbers that you have taken for Ticketmaster are the face values that you see on the website. If you go further into the checkout process, you will see that fees and other things are added. So those prices will be significantly higher, let's say, which will make the overall Ticketmaster package more expensive than what you would get on FIFA Collect. Furthermore, as we have announced before, there is our 15% reduction on price, which will make it even more attractive. So back to the number that I was mentioning before, you're probably set to see a 20-30% difference versus what you would pay on Ticketmaster. Again, this is Yeah, I think it's something to be appreciated because of the effort that we've done with FIFA ticketing on cutting down the price, and at the same time the effort that we're doing in not charging any fee. So hopefully all the different grievance stages that were described will turn into happiness feeling. So thank you for the question. Moving on into another one. This question is from Metiendo Goles from 11th of April at 11:49. So here there is one that is around being holder of RTB's matches for any team. Um, so there is two different questions here. Will I be able to pick any team? Yes, that is the case. We're gonna do this sooner rather than later. Okay, we're not gonna leave this hanging for a long time with the open set of three tickets. We're gonna do this in a way where you will be able to pick your team, and that will be converted into specific things for that team. So that flexibility will soon be over, let's say. And yes, don't worry, you're not going to be offered only hospitality as a choice. As of today, hospitality is not even on the table. There may be an option of offering hospitality as well, as we'll strive into offering different levels and different categories, but you will not be in a situation where you're obliged to convert your RTBs into hospitality only. So don't worry about that. Moving into the next question, and that is from Flutuando number 1. That's 11th of April at 7:02. And it says, are we able to use the same name and email for different tickets? I'm asking because I have two RTBs, but my kids do not have email. So I would like to use my own email. I think this is a very legitimate question, and I personally asked it directly also to the ticketing team. So the general answer, let's say, is whatever is the guidance from ticketing that can be found online is the guidance that will be applied also to us. On this very specific case, I've been told explicitly that you will be able to have up to 10 tickets on the same email. So, of course, again, in compliance with everything connected to restrictions for ticketing, set by ticketing and all that, but you will be able to have up to 10 tickets on the same email. So I would imagine that would be more than enough for your family, unless you have a family of 11 as a football team. But yeah, then in that case, you will have maybe your wife give her email. Moving on to the next question, and so that's from JAHR7, again on the 11th of April. If you say that we have category 1, 2, 3 options for our RTBs, will there be a certain number of each available on a first come, first served basis? Yeah, this is an important one. So as I said, we're going to come back with a firm answer on World Cup 2026, but let's say as a logic principle, we're not going to be able to say that for a specific game there is 100 people that need to convert, and we offer three different categories, or let's make it simple. We offer two different categories, category 1 and category 2. We're not going to be able to have 100 available for category 1 and 100 available for category 2. It will be more like 50-50, and therefore there will be a first come, first served basis when it comes to conversion. We will work on regulating this as needed, but yeah, that's kind of the principle we'll be following. Again, more definitive answers will come later on. It's 4:30, so we're 30 minutes in. I'm going to continue for a little bit, given that there was the introduction, and then we will open to a few more questions. So I'm now moving into a question from Cooley. When redeeming Club World Cup RTB for 2 tickets, again, this question was answered already. This is around the email, and yeah, you will be able to, as far as you're in compliance with ticketing rules, up to 10 tickets per email. Then I'm moving to another question from Oberlin 1B, sorry. What is the here there are some questions around the contractual responsibility and obligation. So FIFA Collect operates the marketplace and fulfills the operation working under FIFA ticketing guidance for inventory, categories, and everything else. Everything is actually aligned from the top and then is cascaded down. When we have new requests and user feedback, as I was mentioning at the beginning, trust us that we do work very hard to align those with FIFA, but then we're often obliged to just execute based on their guidance. So if you don't feel heard, is not necessarily because we're not listening, but is because the guidance that we may get does not necessarily accommodate all the different points. And you can certainly appreciate that we do get a lot of questions of different nature. So we do really try to do our best in delivering on those. For example, in the case of category, because there was one point here on category, in the bundle, we have worked on providing very clearly an indication of what category it is, the ticket is for. I'm going to move into another question from World Cup Raving Fan. That's on the 11th of April at 1:41. And it says, for the delivery of tickets, what is the timeline for the actual ticket delivery? Well, so the way things will work is we're now working on RTB conversion into tickets. In this phase of RTB conversion into tickets, we're asking you for names and emails. The moment that we close this RTB conversion, or let's say in waves, we will be providing this information to FIFA in an Excel format. I'm going to get even more specific. This Excel format will be delivered to FIFA. FIFA will upload it into the FIFA tournament app system, and you're going to receive an official email that confirms that there is a certain ticket that is being allocated to you. Then when that ticket is actually made available on the app, that is not within our control, that is within FIFA ticketing control. So if you look at Ticketmaster, I believe that in their case, they say that the ticket will be available at latest, if I'm not wrong, 3 to 5 days before the start of the tournament. So I would assume that that is the worst case scenario, but hopefully it will be available even earlier. It may be, please do check on Ticketmaster, and we'll do the check ourselves. It may be that it's a few days before the match and not before the beginning of the tournament. But either this, but hopefully this is initial guidance that is already helpful, and we can look into defining it further. Then another question from Enrique EVL on the 11th of April that says, as mentioned before, many Mexicans own RTB times 3. And they received confirmation via email that we could use them for a Mexican national team. So I think the answer to this has been provided already. And do we have a set date for the conversion of these RTBs? No, we do not have a date yet. Moving into the following question from JAHR7. How can we be so sure that nobody else will be able to use my RTB? With Club World Cup Redemption, there are people who sold their Club World Cup RTB marketplace and still having access to redeem that sold RTB. So RTB have unique metadata. It cannot be faked or copied. If the RTB has been sold, it cannot be redeemed. If you put it for sale, then you can delist it and redeem it. In some cases, people had burned the RTB, they forgot about it, and that's why they were able to redeem it, because we did scan also for RTBs that were burnt, because based on our indication, burnt RTBs were eligible for conversion. There may have been a glitch for some RTBs in the Club World Cup Redemption, but those were not able to actually get finalized. So there may have been an issue with people getting to see more RTBs than we're entitled to, but they were actually not working. That has been fixed, but it may be that some of you observed such a thing. And a question from Fracker, 11th of April, why we shifted from $10 pack challenges RTB to straight up gambling glory packs and buying RTBs at site. Well, everything we've done, let's say, is try to cover the most important pillars of, the elements that we have at FIFA. So collectibles, historic moment, and in some cases, we try to have these provide a utility to also give access to matches and experiences. There is more than one strategy. We're trying to do different formats. We're trying to do different things, and we'll try to cover as much as we can and as much as possible. You do see the tendency perhaps of us going all in one direction. It may be because of where we feel the community is at in that moment. And, we do carefully analyze all the data around sales. We do carefully measure sentiment community and get feedback from ambassadors and other people that have a direct line to us. And so sometimes we also get guidance from FIFA. So what you see is the result of a lot of different factors. Then I have another question from Buba. Why did you originally sell glory packs for around $500, then double price, and a few other things that you'll be able to read? This is a question from the 11th of April. And the situation is we're not applying dynamic pricing. We try to match supply and demand as much as we can, and that's normal for a marketplace. We try to understand what the users need the most, what they want the most, and we work very hard to make it available. That's I would say a general principle. And there's a question from NFT Mummy. On the 12th, before I burn my Club World Cup final RTBs, can you confirm that you will not suddenly produce Cat 3 tickets before the 14-day redemption window closes? Cat 1 are completely out of my budget. Well, let's say that if such tickets are made available after your conversion or after the conversion timeline, we will work on protecting people that may have an interest in a category that we may be adding after that 15-day timeline. Already, again, category 1 are being discounted by 15%, plus the absence of fees and other things, but I do understand and very much respect that they may still be out of people's budget. So if we are successful in being able to offer other categories, we'll work on making them available to people even beyond the 15-day window. Now, there is some other questions that are not strictly related to this, like when are we going to have 2FA from Albert Furi? We've been working on this very hard, I promise. It doesn't depend solely on us. It's actually connected to FIFA. So it's an execution that needs to be done by the FIFA IT team. We've been testing already solutions, so hopefully we'll be able to bring them to life very soon, but it is high on our priority because we understand that a lot of you have a lot of valuable collectibles, and that is an important thing. Then another question from West Coast Mo from yesterday. So multiple RTBs for the same game around seating. We have answered this question. And then you were promised multiple categories for Club World Cup. Well, we've answered this question. So I would consider that one covered. Then there was another question from Holmes. If I have headers one combo or any other combo really, and only want the World Cup RTB, do I need to do anything at this point to get that airdrop to me, such as burn it? No, don't worry. Just hold on. Follow what is described into the actual NFT of the Club World Cup, and we'll be following that process. There is no, unless you are contacted by email, there is no action that is required from you. So I would say that time is up for the half an hour. I want to make sure that we have some time to answer live questions because there may be follow-up questions based on some of the answers that we have provided. So I'm going to go back to the RTB conversion AMA questions, and I will go into answering some of the questions that have come. I'm asking the team on FIFA Collect side to help me, Alfredo and everybody else following, just to understand which are the questions that we need to answer that will come later. So for example, there's one that is called that is from World Cup Raving Fan, that is saying the RTB conversion tool is forcing different email address, even just for 2 tickets. Spirit, your answer in the AMA, please advise if we can urgently align the RTB converter to match the 10 ticket per user limit. Yes, thank you very much for flagging that. We did give the specification to the tech team, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case. So we'll be following up right after this call to make sure that that is reflected. I'm going to continue with some other questions that I'm randomly seeing. There's a question from KJ. I joined late. Will tickets be transferable? Yes, tickets will be transferable. So the moment that tickets are issued to you within your FIFA tournament app, you can do whatever you want with those tickets as far as you comply with the overall ticketing guidance. So you can transfer them to colleagues, friends, family, whatever it is. You're not going to be able to sell them on Ticketmaster. Okay, that's a question that came before, and I'm just going to reiterate on this. You will not be able to sell them on Ticketmaster because they've not been bought on Ticketmaster. And because you're not paying the Ticketmaster fee because you're buying them on FIFA Collect, then Ticketmaster will not allow trading within their platform. So I'm hearing from Mondra, I don't get any answer. You just invite to talk with customer service. Before customer service, invite me to go to the live videos. This is a joke. So let me go back to the question, which is, yeah, like I said, I don't have the details of your case. So please don't say it's a joke. I don't have the details of your case. Not be expected to have live the details of all the cases. So I'll be following up with customer service to understand what is specifically your case, and we'll be following up with this. If your name doesn't match your FIFA Collect name, please do mention that to customer service so we can connect back your name on Discord with the actual person that has been asking the question to customer service. So yeah, just please let us know. I'm browsing up as well, and Lumen212 fan is asking, can you talk more about transferring onto the FIFA ticketing app? Most of these RTB rewards were for random locations. Implicit value for random tickets is based on resale value. If our RTB expires well before the event, the RTB loses any value if we don't buy it before it expires. So being able to purchase and resell in the secondary market is essential. So in FIFA ticket app, if I sell in another secondary market, will I be able to transfer to whomever I sell it to? I cannot answer this question. I invite you to look at the guidance of the FIFA ticketing app, at the FIFA tournament app, actually, to be more specific. As I said before, you can transfer the ticket to whomever you want. So what happens before, I'm not answering this question. There is another question from Etienne Dogoles, which is RTB for 3 any matches. Please confirm, as you guys have before, that we'll be able to use for Mexico, including inauguration. Yes, we did confirm that before. You will be able to pick Mexico just like you'll be able to pick other teams. The only thing that we mentioned is that we will work on doing that as soon as possible. So having that conversion happening sooner rather than later. So that will be the case. Marco Z, for combo rewards, will we be available to divide those two as ticket for Club World Cup and RTB, or will it be as one? You will be able to split those. So the ones that are being given as a bundle, it was the first drop that we did as a bundle where the Club World Cup ticket was bundled with the RTB for the World Cup. We are working on the next phase. So right now you're converting RTBs into tickets. There will be another phase where you convert tickets into tickets. So NFT tickets into the actual tickets for the ticketing app. And at that stage, we will be splitting also those bundles so you can have a separate World Cup RTB that can be then tradable on the marketplace. I have a question, which is first come, first serve tickets will make us compete with each other. Some of us will be disappointed. I understand. You have enough time to consider the possibility of looking at the demand for each category and trying to get each user with RTB category they want to purchase. I don't exclude that we do this, but like I said before, it's often a top-down that's coming from FIFA ticketing. Therefore, we may not be in a position where even if we hear your preferences, we're able to address those. And plus, you could change your mind and you could decide that you want Cat 1, even if you said Cat 2 before, and then, there could be complexities, let's say. It's just like in Ticketmaster, you do not have infinite supply of one category. So it's really based on what it's going to be made available. I'm going to try to take a couple more questions and then we'll be wrapping it. Please do vote things up and down if you think there are some that are more important than others. Ratters is asking, will VIP Ultra Seal holders be given priority in first come, first serve sale? Well, I think that could be a good idea. I don't exclude that. I'd love to hear if more community members believe that's a good idea, and we can look into implementing that. Can we expect RTB redemption before the first FIFA lottery phase for the World Cup? We'll look into answering these questions when we do something specific to World Cup 2026. Like I said, we do not have definitive answers on some of the things. So World Cup Raving Fan is asking, is it 15 days from the announcement of the Club World Cup RTB conversion April 10th or 15 days to purchase once redemption request made? I'm not sure what you mean by once redemption request made, but it's from the announcement date. So the moment that we said that RTB conversion was open, that's when the 15 days start to count. Mallow noted Art on Football 2, stadiums and other things to play a role. And Nicolas B2 is asking combo rewards. After that, you'll be asked to provide the details needed to issue your physical ticket. Combo rewards say this about Club World Cup ticket. Is this accurate that it is an actual physical ticket we'll get in mail, or will it be mobile FIFA app like all the others? It will be mobile FIFA app like all the others. We did catch some NFTs where we wrote by mistake that it would be a physical ticket. It is not a physical ticket. It's going to be digital. There may be an option of requesting a physical for memorabilia purposes, but that will not be the focus of what we provide. Things will be provided within the FIFA ticketing app. I'll take a last question and then I'm going to wrap it. Can you confirm the 10 tickets per email you mentioned is per match, not for the full tournament? World Cup or Club World Cup, I will defer for you to check the rules for that are set by FIFA ticketing. I believe these will differ very much depending on the tournament and depending on the context. So the answer that I got from the ticketing team was specific to Club World Cup. I cannot speak about World Cup, so I would invite you to check the rules for the different tournaments. You can probably take as a proxy for World Cup, the previous edition of World Cup, or 2 editions ago, and apply that. So yeah, guys, first of all, thank you, Alfredo, for doing some incredible juggling in tagging the different things that were being replied. Hopefully this was easy for everybody on the line to follow. We thought about different ways and different manners of doing this, and this hopefully worked. Please do give us feedback overall on the AMA and on the process that we followed, on the answers that you got. Just anything that you would like to provide us feedback, please do. I know you don't hold back on providing feedback, so it is appreciated also in the context of the AMA. I feel this was hopefully beneficial for a lot of you. So we'll be looking into doing more as we are able to. And that will depending on the firm answers that we get from FIFA ticketing. I just want to say a very big thank you. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the patience. Thank you for trusting us. I know there is some mistrust that has been generated by some of the statements that have not necessarily been true, but like I said, we're really working on staying as true as we can to the best knowledge into that moment. So we'll be coming back to you with more AMAs and more answers on different things. Keep on sharing the feedback. We're really trying to help. Thank you, and have a great day, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.